Hello and welcome to this brand new Manor Lords Let's Play series. We're in the new patch, so we have some fun, interesting stuff. We have these new fishing nodes, we have new stone deposit icons, we have lots of different variation in the region, so we can have multiple of the same deposit in the same region. So we've got two clay deposits here, we've got salt over there. There's loads of cool stuff in this new patch. So it's my first time actually playing through this new patch. So it'll be interesting to see how things like the new food spoilage works out. And yeah, just generally see how it goes. I've also picked this nice, actually kind of sad looking old man as my character portrait, and we've got a nice dragon on our shield. So we're playing in normal mode just to see how the new patch is going to work out. So we've got the Baron with his two regions over there, and we're starting in our Eichenhau region over here as well. So let's get this game underway. Let's see if I can remember all the tips that I gave in my starting guide. So I know one of the things we need to solve is the water. So let's get a well somewhere. Not anywhere too sort of intrusive where we might want to build. So this is the King's Road that we've got down there. I think we'll just put it just off the King's Road so we can get that built. Maybe we want to move our hitching post, but I think I'll keep it. We'll build a new one. Where is the hitching post again? We'll build a new one. Oh, there it is. And then we'll immediately order new oxen. So we can order that there. And we've got 30 regional wealth remaining, so we could use that for some veggie plots, for example. But what we also want to do is we want to make sure that we have granary and a storehouse so that we can get all of these goods put away. And then we're going to have to build 5 houses to solve this homelessness crisis. But before that, I'd like to build a logging camp to make sure that we have some wood coming in. And I think let's just have a look at where our deposits are and what we've got available. So we have a really nice, rich iron deposit down here. We have a wild animals deposit and a berries deposit, so some good food income. We have a stone deposit here, which actually I think might be worth just getting rid of that and fully depleting it early so we can use this space to grow in. But we have to be careful to not go and build anything in this wild berries deposit. And over here, we've got a clay deposit and a wild animals deposit. So I think actually over there might be a good area for wood cutting. Or over here, maybe. I think to start with, on the left-hand side is probably good. It's nice and close. I don't want to build anything too intrusive. Let's just build something nice and close just to start. And the good thing is you can always demolish these things and you get the resources back. So you can demolish it here and you'll get everything refunded. So if we don't like it there, we could just move it somewhere else. And this will just help us clear a little bit out here as well. And I think because we also want some nice houses with some gardens, we could build some houses along here. That's a nice open space. Or we do that along the King's Road or along here. So we don't have to stay in this starting area that we've got. But I think for now, that's probably a good bet. So we'll just let that roll out, I think. So they're going to start building. They've got the hitching post. They've got the well. They've got the logging camp. All of that is going to get built. Yes, we want to start our dominance against Hildebolt. And up here you can see, obviously, we have 2 months worth of food and we have no fuel consumption just yet. But one of the important things is we're going to want to start a hunting camp very early on. This is actually quite interesting that it's very close to the road. So we can immediately put a hunting camp here and hopefully these guys don't have too far to go. And we can immediately get some food income. And I think the storehouse is going to be good as well. You can just build that next to that. And keeping in mind that we've got our berries deposit, I might build a granary sort of on this side. And then we can build some forester's hut, or not forester's hut, forager's hut, is it? Forager hut. Yeah, we can build one of those in there to gather those berries, and we'll sort of get the goods going in that way. So we're just going to fast forward this a little bit. You can see our oxen here is helping move logs. So that's helping with getting this lumber camp set up. And I think we'll put just one family on that for now. And the hitching post is being built. That's nice. So as soon as that oxen comes in, we'll have that. We have a place ready for that to go, which is very important. And I think I'll put 2 people already on the hunting camp. And we'll get the rest built. We'll get the granary. Let's do storehouse as priority and then granary afterwards. Yes, we don't want to deal with you. I think I'm just going to ignore him for now, actually. Let's get everything built. And then once we have this good, steady amount of timber coming in, we can start building our houses and solve this homelessness crisis. So this oxen here is helping. Yeah, you can do it, buddy. So in this new series, we're going to hopefully keep the videos a bit shorter than the first one. I'd love to keep them under half an hour just to keep them a little bit more watchable. Probably will play at a slightly faster pace as well. But if you do have questions, if you're not sure, if you're new to Manor Lords and you have questions, please write something in the comments. I'm always happy to help. I've got a ton of guides and even more that I'm making as well. So feel free to ask questions. I highly recommend joining the Manor Lords Discord server as well. Really, really helpful and friendly people on there. And they generally have helped me a lot as well. So highly recommend that. We don't have our second oxen yet, but when we do, I'll assign that to the logging camp. I think I will actually after we have both of these built. So we have families bringing this in. So we've got some generic storage and pantry space there. And you can see our food has gone up to 3 months worth already, which is nice. And I actually don't want these guys to be making a market stall. Let someone else do all of that work. So we have 2 oxen actually now. Okay, great. Then I will assign one of those to this. You can go over there. That's nice and close. We've got our well already. And let's have a look at getting a little marketplace set up as well, because that's quite important early on. I think what I'll do is I'll build some houses in this nice space here if it's not too hilly. Or maybe we could do it in the opposite direction, although we have got that well there. I like to have quite a central marketplace. So maybe something like that. That should be okay for now. At least it gives them what they need in the short term. And we have some timber coming in, which is good. Obviously, this is going to use a lot of the stone that we've got. And because roads are free, you can always feel free to just, build some temporary roads if you think people need it. And you can always delete it and remove it later on. And of course, we want to get... Oh, there's no storage space left in our hunting camp. That's because we've got lots of people in there. And of course, we want to get our approval rating higher so that we can start getting more people moving in to our little small village. So I think let's get some residential property down. I'd like to just build some here, actually. That'd be quite good. Not enough goods for that many. Let's see if we can build. Because we want some quite spacious houses as well. I think I'm actually going to go for even longer gardens there. Nice big gardens. And that's just 2 houses there. So we can get those being built. Got loads of timber here. I think. Where else should we put some houses? I think maybe along here would be good. Already got some nice space. I think that would be good for 3 houses. So maybe if we just make this a tiny bit smaller, and we can set it up as 2. So when we do this, obviously we don't have enough resources for 3, so we can reduce it. But it also helps that we have this little icon here, which means we can add additional living space, which is really important later down the line, so that we can not have to build so many houses and upgrade them all, and we can have more people living per plot. That also gives more space for your residents to then, the more people you have, the more people you have to work on the veggie plot in the garden, for example. So let's get those built as well. I think we'll make these the highest priority. And let's take someone off the storehouse for now. Actually, that should be the highest priority. We'll get that finished. And we don't want, we do want those people to be able to make a marketplace. Speed this up. So the benefit of having 2 oxen early is that they can just drag these logs to get all of your buildings done so much quicker, significantly quicker. It's hugely useful. I highly recommend doing it. And you're not using this really for much else other than your backyard plots in the early game, so it's absolutely worth it. I would love to get someone on this berry deposit as well. Interesting that tooltip is wrong. Haven't seen that one before. There's so many small things in the game development side that there's only so many things that you can test in QA. So we've got loads of stuff here in our generic storage, which is great, and we're slowly moving that into our storehouse and granary. Well, actually, none of this will go into the granary because it's meat and hides. So you can see these are all the things that we accept. We've got our starting bread. So we do have some supplies there that are currently getting a bit damaged. But I think we're okay. We've got 5 months worth of food at this point. Early game, I don't think it's really too much of an issue. The main thing that we want to get at this point is the houses set up. So that's our first house. Nice long garden. And we're going to make this into a vegetable garden nice and early. And we've got another house set up. We'll also make that into a vegetable garden. And now we've run out of regional wealth. But we will get that back. And let's just put one of these higher than the other so that they focus on one at a time. So yeah, our meat is going in there. So that's good. And you've got this tooltip now which shows the spoilage rate. So our bread and meat spoilage rate is low. Whereas if we were to move over into Svajal and we started fishing, then the spoilage rate for that is rather high. So it's always good to keep that in mind. I have said in previous episodes that I think around 12 months worth of food is good. I'm not sure how that will change in the future when it comes to spoilage rates. So maybe 12 months is, unrealistic. Maybe we're actually going from 6 months to 6 months. That will be something that's really, really good to find out. I'm going to put see if we can put our woodcutter's lodge there. We'll have that built after those houses, I think. And we do have enough timber, so I'm going to build another residential plot next to these guys. Nice wide one. Just make just one. Bigger one there. So that's already built. That's nice. So have this as very high, have this as high, and you've got this as lowest. So I think we're doing all right so far. Maybe we want to get some, let's get some audio going. Let's have a little bit of ambience here. Not sure if we can hear any of that actually. Okay, so we have almost all of our housing requirements at this point. We're still under 50%, so no one's going to move in. They're happy at the moment with the market variety. As soon as we have enough houses, I think we can start looking at building out this expanded living space in a couple of houses, primarily for these ones because they're the ones with the veggie plots. And we've got loads of timber, which is great. I mean, the other option is also that you don't have to build 5 houses. You could just build a couple. You could probably build 3 and then allow other families to move in. But I like to build a few to begin with and then just upgrade the living space as well. So our settlement has increased and we can choose a development point. So what do we want to go for? So we have apiary, better berries, fishing, trapping. Well, we don't actually have any fish in this region. So definitely one for Svayal, I think. Thinking ahead, I don't think, let's check the fertility. This is not a good farming region at all. So we're not going to go into any of these. I don't think I'll go orchard. I think we've probably got enough. We've got berries, we've got meat, we've got vegetables. That's enough for a little bit. We do have 2 meat sources every year, which is interesting. I'm going to take one family off that. And I think we should go to berries while they're in season. I'm going to put that right in the forest there. And then build direct road to it like that. So in terms of the development point, we've got some good berries. We have trapping. Can't use any policies yet. We may want to go trade. We have a lot of iron as well. So we've got a rich iron deposit. So we may want to... We may want to go basic armor making, which would be very useful. That, if we go for trapping, that will give us a passive income of meat, but then we can go for the double meat produced by hunters and butchers, which is definitely very useful. But we didn't have any salt available. The salt is actually, there's only one on the map and it's in the Baron's territory. So I don't think salt is going to be an option for us here. Charcoal kiln is always really good, but we're not really ready at that point for... I think we will need to go for that at some point because we probably want the deep mining eventually. Because although it shows like this, you can pick any of these, not just 2. Not just those 2 options, you can pick any of these. Kind of want to pick one that then leads into a little bit deeper, which would be useful. And we're definitely not going to be trading yet. I don't want to say the first one is inconsequential, but it's definitely not as important as the decisions you make further down the line. I think we've got enough meat sources actually to last us. So let's go berries, I think. So that should hopefully grow still because it's in season. And then we can get some families over there. So we've got 8 logs, which is definitely enough for the moment. Let's get some extra living space as well. Speed this up a tiny bit. And we do want some fuel for next winter, but it's not an immediate priority. And we definitely don't want to overhunt, so I do want to keep that. Let's just keep that down to 8. What's this new message we've got here? Yes, we do need to build an army at some point, but I think right now that's not super important. And at the moment, I think I'm just going to... I don't want to rotate because I do want things available. We need more families moving in, really. So I think that's just going to take some time for that to tick over and we don't have this -3. And hopefully people will be fairly happy. So we've got, you can see we've got 2 possible families in there. That's being built soon. So once that's built, we don't have any more buildings to build. So we can, I think we'll put someone on the Woodcutter's Lodge. And we'll see how that goes temporarily. So berries have a medium spoilage, so probably good to have. I don't know how they separate out the spoilage rates. But let's see. No backyard extensions just yet over there. And we're doing all right. I think we're going to be fine for fuel and firewood and that kind of thing. Should get plenty in here. We've still got people on timber. At some point, I either move this entirely and just put it, say, over here or well, not around there. We want to keep that safe, but we will need to replant trees at some point. But when you only have 5 families, there's really only so much you can do until new people start to move in. So we've got this over 50%. So some people will start to move in soon. We've got plenty of food. We've got 8 months worth of food. Our fuel amount is going up as well. It was 2 a minute ago, and now we're already up to 5. So I think that is going really well. So we can just really maintain this, I think. I think this is a really nice level. We've got berries coming in. Generally, people are happy. We need to go for a church at some point, though. And we do need to get some leather. But we have a lot of... Should have a lot of hides. We've got 47 hides. But it's just how spread out everyone is. There aren't really enough people very early on. I could always take someone off the hunting camp temporarily. And let's say we build a tannery close to... Oh, maybe that's a bit too close. But I think basically opposite is always good. Let's just take them off there for now. So we have a family to build. And yeah, we're doing really well in terms of getting a lot of firewood here. That's very quick. I think actually we can even take someone off of that to get this tannery built a little bit quicker. I'm happy with the amount of timber that we've got as well. And berries are coming in and they're obviously going out into here. Got that market stall available as well. I think I'd like to have one person dedicated to the granary and storehouse and they can be our market makers. That's generally how I would prefer it to go. And that just needs constructing now. And we'll get a family on there. So that will help us hit this clothing store requirement by turning all of this hide into leather. And then the next step, obviously, we need to improve the fuel supply, which I think will generally happen once we have someone dedicated to this. So let's put someone on there temporarily, because we're not building anything at the moment. There we go. We have our first new family moved in, which helps us just spread things out a little bit more, which is really, really useful. So I think actually those things are going to be hit quite naturally as things get moved around. There you go. Both ticked over almost at the same time. And then really the next step is the church, which is quite a big step up in terms of requirements, I think, because we have planks, we need some stone. Although we have enough from starting, we haven't started gathering any stone yet. So we will need to start making planks, which I think is actually not going to be really too intensive. And probably, I think it might be nice to just have an excuse to get rid of all of this stone. I would like to do that sooner rather than later. And in terms of capacity, we have one spot there. We can definitely upgrade these. So I think let's get all of these upgraded. That'll be very useful for us. And then the other thing, of course, is the manor. So we're going to need more stone for that. So let's get these houses upgraded. Let's get our church prepared. We need some planks. And hopefully we can build the church and the manor in the next episode. But we'll just play this out a little bit longer and get these upgraded and see where we're at. I really love the cloud shadows in this game as well. You don't notice it if you're really as much if you're just on normal speed. If you speed things up, you can really see the shadows. I love that. And, you know, this has been ported to Unreal Engine 5 from Unreal Engine 4. I think there's a lot of really nice graphical updates. Things look really, really nice. So this is a really, really good start. I'm very pleased with this so far. And we have 13 months worth of food. We don't have anyone on the hunting camp right now, so that's regenerating a little bit. The berry deposit is doing okay. We're at a decent happiness. Could probably do with some more fuel. But I think let's just get the houses upgraded. And we'll just want to make sure you always have room. If you want to keep expanding, always have room for people to be moving in. And if we have someone working on the tannery using all of these hides into leather, we definitely need to make sure we have someone still on the hunting camp. So once these are all upgraded, I think I actually might take someone off that for now. And we'll get all of those upgraded a little bit quicker. So you can see this bit here is the extra expanded living space, which is always good. And that one's just not built yet, so it will go there. Same here, it will go in this little corner there. And there you go, that one's already up. That's fully upgraded. And you can see your max capacity, maximum living space here. So we have in total 6 families, but we have space for 10. So that's always going to be coming through, which is nice. And I think now that we've got 2 of those done, I think 1 person back on the hunting camp would be really nice. And I don't want to play too passive because I do worry about these bandits over there. We're going to want to keep our guys safe. We have 1 person on the granary and the storehouse, so everything's moving around, everything's circulating. We've got good approval here for everything so far. And that's another thing. The fewer houses you have, the fewer of these requirements you're going to have to spread around. It's per house. So I think it really helps to just have it maximum upgraded. And once you get these up to level 3 burgish plots, you can have 5 families per house, which is huge. Sorry, 4 families per house. So you can really cram a lot in, and I think it really helps in terms of planning as well. So I think that's a good spot. We've got, whoops, close that. That's fully upgraded now. I think the next natural step here really is to get our church so that we can start upgrading these and to get our manor. So thank you for joining me in the first episode of this new Manor Lords Let's Play series. I'm really excited to be playing this brand new patch. There's so many upgrades in this, both visually and gameplay. There's things that we haven't even touched on yet, like the trade overview. So I'm really, really excited to keep playing Manor Lords. And especially as the game evolves, it's still early access. That's another thing to keep in mind. So these little things that may look a little bit broken, they will get fixed, and the game is going to continue to evolve. So thank you for joining me in episode 1 of this brand new Let's Play series. And if you're enjoying it, please do subscribe, drop a comment. I'm always happy to hear from you, to hear what you want to see in these Let's Play series. I will also be starting the Mercenaries only Let's Play series again fairly soon. So I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully I'll see you in episode 2.